What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check this out. Why is it that everybody seems to be circling the wagon right now in the mainstream media, circling the wagon around Disney and Star Wars and Lucasfilm because of this show, The Acolyte? Why do y'all think that is? I wonder why. I wonder if they're trying to protect some certain people, because it seems like this show, more than any other show, is getting all of this defense put up around it, where they're coming out and they're attacking the fans, and they're attacking the fans super hard. All right. I've already did a couple of videos about that on how they've come out and they've just basically come hard after the fans. And now they're doing it again. All right. Not John F. Trent. All right. John F. Trent is like one of the last honest cats on the internet, reporting the news. OK, but this is on That Park Place. He's talking about Forbes reporter Paul Tassi, who apparently is seething as Star Wars The Acolyte's audience scores go even lower. Yeah, they're supposed to go lower because this is a garbage show. And now everybody is picking it up and saying, oh, okay. Yeah, we see what you're doing, Disney. Downvotes, okay? We saw this with the trailer. This should come as no surprise to anybody. We saw this with the trailer. The trailer got dog walked into oblivion, all right? This thing got absolutely, totally massacred on the trailer. The downvotes were insane. So I expected this thing to get wrecked. Now, I didn't expect it to get wrecked the way it's getting wrecked, all right? So that's kind of new. But I absolutely expected this audience score just to be like total trash. So yeah, he says here that Forbes writer Paul Tassi is not happy that audiences and viewers are rejecting The Acolyte, claiming that the low audience score is embarrassing for the audience scores. I don't know about y'all. The only thing that's embarrassing is that I actually have to watch it. I feel embarrassed for the people that made it. I felt embarrassed for like these two little girls. I felt so bad for them. Like, oh my God, poor girls. Y'all actually had to act in this trash. I feel so bad for y'all. Man, I hope this doesn't ruin your careers, okay? Like, that's how I felt. I didn't care at all about, the people, the adults or whatever. I felt bad for her and, for myself as well, okay? I felt bad for me. I had to watch this trash. I feel bad for y'all, all right? Y'all got to watch it, But embarrassing? Nah, I don't think it's embarrassing for the audience at all. It's embarrassing for Star Wars, all right? But see, what they're trying to do is flip it around, right? They're trying to turn it around and make it about you, the audience, instead of the company that made this garbage. Like, why don't you talk about the company that absolutely made this piece of shit, Paul Tassi? Why don't you talk about that instead of talking about the fans that are saying, this is a piece of shit, I'm rejecting it, let me get online, let me write my reviews, all right? Let me give it a downvote or a 1 star or a half star, because I'm going to have my voice heard. There's nothing wrong with that. It's an election year. It's time to get your voice heard. Get out there and rock the vote, okay? Rock the vote on social media and on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, everywhere else you can, all right? So he says here, the Rotten Tomato scores for Star Wars The Acolyte currently sits at 15% following the release of 3 episodes. The rating is a 1.3 out of 5. Yeah, it's not at a 15% anymore, all right? It has now dropped to 14%, ladies and gentlemen. I love it, man. Keep rocking the vote, all right? 14%. That's what we think about you. Here's what we think about you, Disney. You took our franchise, all right? This franchise didn't belong to Disney. It belongs to the fans. And the fans are telling you exactly what they think about Disney Star Wars. If you don't like it, tough titty. Go make better content. It's as simple as that, really. Just go out there and make something that we love. You notice that nobody's, quote unquote review bombing the Andor. Nobody did that to Andor. So and look, I've said this before. Andor has a lesbian couple in it, all right? So it has nothing to do with LGBTQ, none of that. Otherwise, they would have downvoted and review bombed Andor, but Andor is sitting at like over 80% or something. So yeah, I don't want to hear it, okay? Paul Tassi can kick rocks. On IMDb, the show's rating sits at 3.6. It has an unweighted mean of 3.1, and the majority of all votes, 55.2, are 1 out of 10. Again, people are calling it trash. And so for some reason, Paul Tassi has a problem with that. Why are you calling this thing trash? Because it's trash, Paul. Because it's trash, Paul. Wake up and smell the coffee, G. Yeah, so here it is. This is what he put up, okay? Or they put up. The IMDb rating, and you can see, yeah, heavily with the 1 stars. These are the ones that you should be questioning, right? You should be questioning these 10-star reviews, man. Anybody that's giving this thing 10 out of 10, yeah, you need to, you're a shill. You're a shill, you're a bot, you're something like that, all right? Because most fans are not, real fans, nobody's giving it 10 out of 10. Hell no. Okay? Hell no. There's no way in hell, all right? Tassi claims viewers are review bombing the show, writing, viewers have now mobilized a fleet of TIE bombers to obliterate user scores of the Acolyte wherever possible, namely on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. Not only does he claim it's review bombing, but he rejects any notion that audiences and viewers think the show is objectively terrible, which it is. He declares, no, I'm not going to entertain a debate that this is not review bombing. A 15% score is barely more than a third of the last most controversial Disney Star Wars project, The Last Jedi. I'm glad he called it Disney Star Wars because it's not Star Wars, all right? Let's all just agree with that. Good job, Paul Tassi, calling it Disney Star Wars. Now, to this point, right, where he's talking about he's not going to entertain a debate that this is not review bombing. See, here's the problem. It isn't review bombing if it's, 5-star ratings or 10 out of 10 ratings, whatever. He don't point that shit out, all right? There's plenty of that crap going on. Review boosting is what I call it. Again, we saw that with Willow. We saw people coming out of the absolute woodworks on an LGBTQ show to boost that rating all the way up to 65 when it was down in the 20s, all right? I did a whole video about that where I found it, exposed it. It was a clear campaign that they said, oh, well, we're going to boost this thing up to the moon. They do this crap, but they never call it out, all right? But they will absolutely call out when you think something is trash and you give it a 1 star, oh, it's review bombing now. Now they want to call it out. Well, yeah, turnabout's fair play, all right? And here's the thing, as I've stated before, you cannot review bomb a good show. There is no way in hell you can review bomb a good show. Even if you're trying to review bomb, go try to review bomb House of the Dragon season 2 right now. Go try it. You'll never be able to do it. You know why? Because your 1-star vote or half-star vote is going to get drowned out amongst all of the 5 stars. Everybody's loving it. 10 out of 10. We love it. We praise it. Or 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 or whatever. Okay. It's going to get drowned out by everybody else coming in and saying this thing is absolutely magnificent. That's what's going to happen. So if you try to review bomb, if that's what he thinks is going on, and that's why the score is so low, if that's what he thinks, go try to review bomb something good and you'll see what happens. Nobody's going to pay attention to that. The fact that the Star Wars fandom is coming around and giving this thing every bit of peace that it deserves right now should be a wake-up call to these clowns over there at Forbes, Paul Tassi, and anybody else that's out there shilling for this thing. All right, but shills will be shills. All right, we understand. Disney laced your pockets up pretty good. You got to do what you got to do. I understand it, Paul Tassi, but don't try to gaslight me, okay? Don't try to gaslight the fans, all right? Why don't you just go out there and write some glorious article of how wonderful the Acolyte is, all right? Quit attacking the fans. The fans have a right to slam this shit for the shit that it is. We have a right to do that. And you have to understand that as somebody that is in quote-unquote media, that, hey, man, people have a voice, people have an opinion. For him to come out and try to attack it, man, it's just trash, bro. I'm sorry. That's just how I see that. His evidence that a majority of the votes on IMDb are scores of 1 out of 10, and that the show has received more reviews than previous Star Wars shows on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, that's another thing. Again, he's saying that basically, if you go back here, all right, this thing has got 10,000 ratings. Now, this is a lot of ratings, okay? I'm not going to lie. This is a lot of ratings this early on. Normally, at this stage of the game, you might not even have 1,000 ratings or maybe 2,000 ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to be very small. You're not going to have a lot of ratings, but this thing is already over 10,000. Sometimes it takes somewhere from on a especially hot show, it might take like a month. It might take a couple of months, maybe 2 months to get to like the 5,000 ratings. It definitely takes that on some movies. And I'm pretty sure it takes that on some television shows too, all right? It takes months and months and months to get up to about 5,000 ratings, or a couple of months. This thing is already at 10,000. That means that everybody is banding together, and they're saying, nah. This far, no further, okay? The line must be drawn here. Everybody's putting their foot down with this crap. Everybody is coming together. The fandom, we were talking about this on Echo Base. We talked about it on Film Threat. The fandom has never been more united than it is right now. This is the most united the fan base has ever been when it comes to Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, I should say, shitting on and destroying the franchise we love. It has never been this big. And so, yeah, you just got to respect that. All right. Instead of trying to trash the fans, you should be trying to respect that, Paul Tassi. Again, this is just a garbage story that he was writing. Let's see. He says, however, this does not hold water on IMDb. As seen above, The Acolyte has 49,000 reviews in comparison with Ahsoka, which has a total of 115,000 reviews. Andor has 169,000. Obi-Wan has 233,000. As for why he believes people are rejecting the show, Tassi writes, there's a bunch of dimensions to this, and none of them good. There's an absolute racial and gender component to this. What makes you say that? What makes you say that there's a racial and gender component? Again, I literally just pointed out that in Andor, all right, a show that pretty much everybody loves, you know, plenty of women in that show. There's an LGBTQ relationship in that show, all right? One of the lead characters is a woman, all right? So there's, I don't get what he's talking about, all right? You're talking about racial, all right? Diego Luna, all right? Not like your standard blonde hair, blue-eyed white guy, right? So everybody loves that show. Nobody seems to have a problem with it. Plenty of color and diversity and all that kind of stuff. It's a well-written show. It's a well-acted show. It's a well-directed show. That's why that show is getting the love that it's getting. What's the problem over here? The Acolyte, it's crap, all right? Nobody wants to watch this show, and what they've seen, it tells them everything they need to know. Oh, okay, you guys are clearly here about the agenda. You're clearly here about what he's talking about, this racial and gender component. This whole show is a racial and gender component. It's not about the story. Again, Leslie Headland came out specifically saying that Amanda Stenberg had to be in this show. If she wasn't in this show, she didn't know if the show was even going to get made. She wrote the show specifically for a woman of color who happens to be in the LGBTQ community. She specifically wrote the show with her in mind. Dude, do your homework, okay? She put the racial, she put the gender, she put the sexuality in this show. She did that. Not me, the fan. I didn't make this stuff. I didn't make any of this, all right? So yeah, when he's talking about this clip from Amanda Stenberg about making white people cry, you didn't think that that was going to have some kind of a factor? I don't care if it's not about this show. I don't care if it's about some other show, all right? The fact that she even said that turns people off, all right? Maybe they should tell their stars to keep their mouths shut. Oh, man, you're about to be in a big Star Wars show. You know, it's kind of like Rachel Zegler. Yo, you about to play Snow White. We need you to shut all the way up. Keep your opinions to yourself. Don't be out there on the red carpet and on the late night talk shows running your mouth. Shut up, okay? Because if you do that, oh, I was just talking about the hate you give. Yeah, well, now it's cascaded over to the Acolyte. So now you're bullshit talking about, yeah, I'm here to make white people cry, all right? Because of that, now that's affecting the Acolyte. Now people are like, I'm not even giving it a chance, all right? Or they may come out and watch it and say, yep, trash, just like I thought, half star, and I don't blame them, okay? Again, people get to say whatever it is they want to say. This is America, all right? This is America. We get to say what the fuck we want to say, bro. Showrunner Leslie Headland has starred on many YouTube thumbnails, lambasting the woke nature of the series, but also allegedly breaking canon. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Yeah, she has come out and said that this is going to be focused on the agenda. You know, she has absolutely said that. You know, and then John goes on to talk about, like, it's funny that he admits that people don't like the show because they believe it is breaking lore on a number of levels, from the way it portrays the Jedi and all of that stuff. So he claims he's not going to entertain that it's review bombing, but then provides legitimate reason for why people are actually disliking the show. Exactly. Exactly. So again, you can't listen to these shills, man. Shills are going to shill, all right? This is what shills do, all right? They come out here, they talk all day madness, but at the end of the day, they're just shills, all right? They're just shills. And yeah, this 14% is a legitimate 14%. Sorry, Mr. Tassi. You're just going to have to eat that up, all right? But anyway, we're going to get back to more Acolyte tonight, okay? I'll be over at Echo Base. I'll be doing the after review. You know, we're going to watch it and then we're going to review it afterwards. So join us on the Echo Base Network live stream. All right. Make sure you guys check for that. And then right after that, if you guys hadn't seen, I got a new late night stream called The Nightcap. All right. I'll be recapping Acolyte episode 1. So come back, watch me on The Nightcap. Should be a lot of fun. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.